10 young migrant workers say they are struggling to pay rent and relying on free food after suddenly losing their jobs as security officers.
The men feel exploited, claiming they paid between $50,000 and $70,000 to Indian agents for the jobs, but were made redundant just months into a 3-year contract.
Adding insult to their predicament, Newshub's obtained video of one of the men's managers who swears and laughs at them. In a flat in Auckland's Manurewa, there's a sense of fear and dread about what the future holds for these men. Working in New Zealand was the dream. Their reality now is one of desperation.
I'm feeling like totally blank, like I'm just 22 and I have to go through these type of things. And we came here for like a better future, but our future is going in dark.
Dark because their jobs, which they say they paid thousands to Indian agents to secure, have suddenly evaporated. How much did you pay to come to New Zealand for this job?
$70,000.
Paid approximately 56,000 New Zealand dollars.
It was for work as security officers at Auckland-based company S.E.A.L Security. Out of work and money, they have turned to the local Sikh community for food.
I don't have enough money to spend on foods and get some foods and groceries and pay the rent as well.
Are you relying on free food from the community?
Yes.
Adding to their anguish, they received this. A videoed tirade from S.E.A.L security manager Sukhpinder Singh, in which he yells at the men.
And he abusing to all employees, "F your mom, F your sister."
Sukhpinder Singh told Newshub he was upset as the men had accused him of taking their money.
I was swearing at the people who was saying that I have taken money. I was angry. I was swearing.
The workers say they paid money to Singh's relative and his associates in India. Singh admitted his relative did help recruit workers, but says he knows nothing of money changing hands.
No, I was not involved in that and nothing to do with that.
Employment contracts seen by Newshub state pay was $27.76 an hour, but all the workers state they got less than this. And it was supposed to be long-term work.
3 years contract. Yeah.
And how long did you work for?
Only maybe 9 months.
3 days before Christmas, 20 workers received a redundancy letter from company director Chetan Kumar saying there is no work that I am able to offer you given all the work hours that we have lost. As a result, your role is redundant, with your last day of employment being today. Chetan Kumar denies underpaying the men and denies any knowledge of vast sums of money being paid to agents in India. He says deductions were made to the men's pay, but this was for rent and bond, immigration and lawyer fees and their uniforms. And he says this was agreed to verbally with the workers. The workers say the money gathered to secure the jobs came from high-interest loans, their parents and relatives.
Now the relatives asking to my parents, what about the money?
That's a question these men have been unable to answer, fearing they have been dealt a curveball which was all part of an elaborate manipulation. Now, Chetan Kumar told me the men are making up false allegations and he denies any wrongdoing. He sent me a copy of an email yesterday from a former worker who stated the claims by the men in my story were all part of an effort to extort money from the company. However, I have contacted the former worker who wrote the email. He told me he felt scared and he was pressured to write the email and he was paid $7,000 by S.E.A.L Security to do it. I have audio recordings with Chetan Kumar asking the worker to write the email if he wants the money and text messages verifying the transaction. Although Chetan claims he simply gave the worker this money to help him out when he left the country.